Okay, let's look at some reduced clauses today. We're going to start with reduced relative clauses, and these are fairly straightforward. Yeah, you'll recognise these. The man wearing a red jumper is Mike. Well, this is a reduced relative clause. Generally speaking, when you reduce a relative clause, you end up with a participle phrase describing the noun. It's not always the case. Sometimes you end up with a noun because you've got apositives as well. Reduced relative clauses can reduce to apositives or participles. I can quickly give you an example of an apositive. So if we say the man, let's change it. If we say Isaac Newton, the great scientist, wearing a red jumper, yeah, or we need a bit more. Isaac Newton, get rid of the wearing the red jumper because that's a participle. If we say Isaac Newton, the great scientist, was born on Christmas Day, that is Isaac Newton who was the great scientist. So that would be reducing a relative clause to an apositive. But here we're reducing the relative clause to a participle phrase, and that's a present participle ending in ing. Now another way we can do it is with a past participle. Yeah, the boy who is called Simon stood up. The boy called Simon stood up. We have already seen this called Simon a few times on this course, and you can see that this called might be a finite verb or it might be a non-finite verb, and it's important. What is it exactly? Here it's a finite verb. Here it's a participle. Silly me. Here it's a participle describing boy. It's not a finite verb. That's the finite verb. Okay, so we're missing out the who is. So you can see this is something we can do. We can reduce relative clauses to participle phrases or apositives sometimes. Now, something that's important with this grammar, and that might surprise you, is that we can do this. Anyone wanting an ice cream can buy one. Here. Now, this wanting an ice cream describes the anyone, so it's just like these two participles. But the reason why you might think this is strange is that we don't say anyone who is wanting. We say anyone who wants. So that's important. The reason why we don't say anyone who is wanting is because want is a stative verb, and that means you can't say, or you don't say, I am wanting an ice cream. You say I want an ice cream because it's a verb that describes a state. But you can use stative verbs as present participles ending in ing. Even though you can't say I am wanting, you can't say I am knowing. Yeah, you don't say I am knowing the answer. You say I know the answer. However, you certainly could say the student, knowing the answer, put his hand up. That sounds fine to me, yeah? The student, knowing the answer,